My name is Ella Wortley.
My name is Abby Dennis.
My name is Wyndham Ross.
My name is Grace Wrinkle. I'm a junior music education major, and I am playing Meg March.
And turn, left hand. Up. And turn.
Little Women is a story about family. It's a story about a set of young girls and their troublesome neighbor friend navigating through the trials and tribulations of growing up. So this means the tensions between siblings and the teasing and the lengths that they will go to get the best of each other, and also the lengths that they will go to out of love. The March family is bound by a really strong sense of love and care for each other despite the hardships that they go through. The four sisters are Meg, Jo, Beth, and Amy in order. So Meg is the oldest sister and has therefore some of the responsibilities for managing the other sisters. She has a lot of the pressure of understanding what being a young girl and a young woman, a little woman, if you will, means.
She's definitely a shadow to Marmee. She's kind of the sweet, proper older sister. She really looks up to her mom and kind of takes on a lot of those qualities. I am the oldest sister in my family, though I have a brother, no sisters. I can really relate with that sense of wanting to please your parents and be a good role model for your siblings. The March family used to be rich, more wealthy, and now they do fall into the more poverty area. So Meg and Amy both wish they had more money and could have the nicer things. Meg goes to her friend's house, the Moffats, and she always loves to go to the big parties. And then Amy, every time she goes to Aunt March's house, she just wants all the grand things that Aunt March also has. So they have a lot of similarities in their dreams, but their dreams aren't quite realized the same. Meg ends up living a poorer life, but I think she's richer in the relational department, being a mother and a wife, whereas Amy ends up with Lori and gets all the grand, finer things. So they kind of have the same dreams, but they're realized a little bit differently in the end.
There's Jo, who's the spunky, independent, self-proclaimed tomboy of the family, who wants to be a writer, wants to direct plays. She's the creative force of the sisters.
What I really love about Jo, it's not this materialistic want in life. It's not this wanting to have more things or make her way in society, but it's to be known because she's doing something really cool. I think she has that typical rebellious spirit that people really admire. I think she defies a lot of the boundaries of even within her family context, but just for women at the time as well. I think she goes beyond a lot of gender norms and things that are typical or expected of women. She's very outspoken and very loud and exciting and isn't afraid to speak her mind, and I think a lot of people resonate with that. Very end of Act 1, that's kind of Jo's come to Jesus moment, if you will. She realizes that maybe what she expected her life to be is not what's reality. I think that resonates with me on a deep level in many ways. There's ways that my life has changed since coming to college in ways that I didn't anticipate. But I think the story in general speaks to more than a feminist movement. And I'm all about feminism and girl bosses doing what they gotta do. But I think it speaks more to she's grown up in this place where all she knows are the stories that she reads, and to her that is reality, and therefore she will make that her reality.
The third is Beth, who's the core soul of the sisters, I would say. She is a very devout icon of faith. She is the wise voice that encourages Jo, reins everyone in amid the family.
She doesn't speak up a lot, but her main desire out of everything is just for her family to be together. She wants to bring her sisters together and just her entire family. She loves them very much, and they are her whole world. They're everything to her. And so their happiness is her happiness. I feel like I have so much in common with Beth. Something that I relate to her about, just wanting people to be together and having that unity and that harmony. trying to diffuse conflict and have people be as close as they can be to each other.
And then the youngest is Amy, who is the youngest sibling that we all might recognize in teasing her elder sisters, but also has her own creative streak. Amy, we'll see, is an artist.
She's kind of bratty, kind of selfish. She kind of does her own thing to get her own way. Yeah, she's kind of funny though, so that like makes up for it. So it's really been fun like playing into all the emotions that as an oldest child I never really get to feel. So just like making everything about me and like all this and taking the stage.
The cast has been really supportive of each other and encouraging. We've got understudies for any time that any of the leads weren't feeling well or had a conflict, and they've been amazing about stepping up and being ready to step right in. And in turn, the cast has really supported them as well. And even the ensemble members have they've been on it.
I'm Reagan. I am a junior elementary education major, and I am the troll. So the troll is basically a representation of Amy and her want for the finer things in life, courtesy of my one solo in the Weekly Volcano Press. This is one of the stories that Joe writes, so we are a story within a story. So we get to basically represent like different aspects of her life, but just as different characters. So I have that greed of Amy within me. Because I'm an ensemble, I do get to appear in a few other scenes, but it's a more serious and more like emotional. Musical theater for me, just telling a story in just some of the most fun ways. I love music. Music has always been a part of my life. And for me, musical theater has just been like a safe space, if you will. Because I can take away all like the pains that I have in this world, but also like all the joys I have, and I can put that emotion into something so different. I get to play a character that may not relate to who I am as a person, but something I can really explore and then also take back with me into my daily life.
The 19th century interests me because there are so many topics that the 19th century first dealt with that we still deal with today. So Little Women was published in 1868, which means that was just a few years after the Civil War rocked America, changed the American way of life, what family looked like. It is hard to put ourselves in the shoes of someone living at that time in America after the Civil War, with so much division, so much heartache, so much uncertainty about what the future would look like going forward.
The time period, Little Women really needs to be set in the time in which it was written. And so the hair and makeup design and costume design take that into account as well.
Louisa May Alcott, the author, writing Jo, for her is also very autobiographical, as drawing on her own experience with her family and her desire to write, to also look forward to women's suffrage when women would gain the right to vote. Louisa May Alcott, fun fact, was one of the first women to vote in Concord, Massachusetts.
So when Louisa May Alcott wrote actually a book series, the first book is titled Little Women because it focuses primarily on the March sisters, but also the next door neighbor, Lori, and John Brooke, who comes in as Lori's tutor. So there are men in it.
Little Women, as the title says, is a story about young girls, but it's for everyone. Lori, the neighbor boy, is one of the most delightful characters of the book. It's very much a story about all aspects of humanity.
I'm Alec Fellman. I'm a strategic communications major, and I have a minor in music as well, and I play Lori in Little Women. Lori is like the new boy next door that moves in with his grandfather. Doesn't have a lot of friends coming to Concord, Massachusetts, but he quickly befriends all four of the sisters, particularly Jo, and yeah, they just have a good old time together. Like the first interaction that they have is very odd. Yeah, Jo does something she probably shouldn't have on Mr. Lawrence's property. Mr. Lawrence is Lori's grandfather. And when he comes over to the March's house to like scold her, Laurie comes along too, and that's like the first interaction that they have, and it ends up with Joe asking Laurie to haul a tree to like one of their neighbor's house or something. Very like random situation. But then like later on, they like happen to run into each other at a party, and yeah, Laurie like sings his song about how he like really wants like a best friend. There's so many funny moments in this show. Like there's so much comedy, and it's great. And yeah, the music just, there's like so much like up tempo, and then there's like ballads, and then like there's like, it's like music for everyone. And yeah, I think no matter who you are, there's something for you to kind of like, not only just like enjoy, but also take away from.
One of my first memories of reading, period, is my mom reading Little Women to me. Reading Little Women as an adult, I very much resonate with the second half of the novel. The first half is when we see the Marches as young girls, and the second half is them entering adulthood and making their way in the world as adult women, navigating romance, marriage, children, all of those questions. So it's a novel that then is able to stay with you as you grow up.
The end seems nowhere in sight. The days are difficult and long, but I am numb.